Hello and welcome to the JTrain Podcast. It is a Chit Chat Wednesday, and today's Chit Chat is with Zach Zimmerman, hilarious comedian who has a special that's out on YouTube right now called Surprise Me. There has been, I will say, this special is hilarious. Considerable money was put into this. It has an opening. It has a great it's just got a great background, great look, and Zach does I would call it storytelling method of stand-up where you're weaving in and out of the relationship he has with his parents who are evangelical, and he is formerly evangelical, and he has come out of the closet, and how that's affected their relationship and him. It is like a loving gesture how much he keeps trying to get the family on board. He talks about the family group chat, his dad leaving it, coming back to it. It is a great special. You're going to love it. And you're going to love this conversation today. We talk about that. We talk about Dunkin Donuts. He's got a great Dunkin Donuts, but enjoy today's episode. Boom. Hello and welcome to the JTrain Podcast. This is JTrain Jared Freid coming to you live from the West Village of Manhattan. That's right. Every Wednesday is a Chit Chat Wednesday where I sit down with a friend, a comedian, an expert. And today I have all three. I got a friend, I got a comedian, and I got an expert in comedy because I just watched their special. It is fantastic. I wrote down 3 words to describe this special. 4 words. And then I'll introduce them.
Waste of time.
How did you... Oh, my God. It's like you read my mind. I guess we'll move on to introducing the guest now.
No, flatter me.
Okay. I was going to... He couldn't even let my compliment come out.
I know.
You couldn't even let me give you a fucking compliment. Okay. Zach Zimmerman is here. The special is called... It is called Surprise Me, and I'm going to surprise him with my 4 words. Funny, quality, compassionate, and weave. Those are the 4 words that I would use to describe the special, which is fantastic, and it's on YouTube, and everyone should go watch it. The link is in the bio on both. It's both on YouTube and on all listening platforms. Zach Zimmerman, thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, Jared, thank you for having me. I will let listeners know weave is a word Jared picked because I do perform the entire special in a full 6-foot weave that I had braided into my hair. People say it's problematic. I say it's a gimmick, and it's to get you to watch.
I thought it was great. I was surprised. It was, that's the whole meaning of this. Surprise Me is the name of the special. So it kind of worked into the name.
White guy from Virginia is going to be rocking an incredible
I was proud of you.
Front lace wig.
I was proud of you. Living out loud, living the most you life you could lead. Where are you right now? We had an issue with getting together. You said you messed up the
time zones.
The time zones, which is a story of my life. So I'm not, and like you, I'm going to be compassionate when for your lateness and the time zone mix up, but that's okay. Where are you?
I'm in New Orleans, of all places.
What are you doing in New Orleans?
I'm making a mess of myself. No,
as you should. That's what you do in New Orleans.
I had shows this weekend, and flying back today was crazy because of Jazz Fest. So I'm staying an extra day, so it's a cheaper flight home.
I get it. Jazz Fest is huge there. When you said you were in New Orleans doing shows, and then I have seen, it's funny, like we have the parasocial relationship we have with people. Like I'm aware that Jazz Fest is happening this weekend in the back of my mind just because I've seen a couple pictures posted from there. I wasn't aware that you had done, where did you do shows?
I was actually at Jazz Fest. I played the main festival state. No.
Come on. That would have been a great opportunity. There's people love Jazz Fest. It is a beloved festival.
The town went crazy. I was at a Sports Drink. Have you heard of them? They're new, maybe a year or 2 old. You've probably seen like the orange igloo coolers behind people doing stand-up. It's this like tiny little coffee shop / comedy club that just has been bringing people out.
I love that. I actually saw a video recently from there. They have a kind of like that, New Orleans doesn't really have that that nightly comedy club. They have that. There's an improv space that I did once way long ago. And then I did the Joy Theater, and that was a lot of fun because I'm like just happy to go to New Orleans. Like I think we all want to go.
Oh yeah, it's like the greatest city. I don't want to come back to New York. I mean, I love New
It's
York, but
right.
everyone's cold and an individual. Here, you walk down the street and someone's like, "Do you want some of this crawfish?" Or
Yeah.
like, people are saying hello, and I'm like startled because I didn't see them in the alley, and they don't want to mug me. They just want to say hi.
It
Like,
also looks exactly how you want. I want it to look like an
mm.
old Disney cartoon. I want it to look like Mickey on the Mississippi. Like it's just the food is also. I mean, I've made the joke that New Orleans has the most anti-Semitic food because it's all like cream based and sugars, and it's like it's not made for a Jewish tummy, but it is
And
so
shellfish.
and shellfish. But it is absolutely delicious.
I made some mistake. I got crawfish étouffée, thinking étouffée sounded like souffle. I thought this be this like delicate like
No.
pastry. No, it was like a sludge gravy
Yeah.
plate full of it that was delicious. But I was like, it's 100 degrees. Why am I eating like a hot gravy and
Right.
trying to be trim this summer? Who knows?
How
But
is it hot and steamy down there? And did people come to the shows? Was there, because listen, it was hard for me to sell tickets in New Orleans. People ended up coming out, but it wasn't easy. Like it's hard to get there's so much else going on. And, the people that live there, they're not generally like hanging on bourbon. Like Frenchman Street is kind of like where they send you a lot of the times.
right, and we're down on Magazine Street. It was like 90 degrees in the day. I feel like I wish I was
Okay.
here a little earlier. And they I mean it's a tiny room and we had 4 shows. We didn't have to cancel any. That's
That's
the win.
a win. There we go.
15,000 people streamed the special, but 4 people came to that 9:30 p.m.
Love it.
Friday night show.
So
Uh,
we want people to go watch the special. It is very, very good. It is hilarious. It is joke, 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 joke. It is called Surprise Me. It is on YouTube right now. As we ask for people to do, go like and comment and let them know you came from this podcast. Like, let Zach know. Zach is literally reading every comment that comes in. And
it's a mistake to be
right.
doing, but I get an email every comment that comes through, and
Yeah.
then I go deep. I'm like, oh, you're a 15-year-old in the Midwest who is evil, and I wish you hadn't commented. Oh, you're a nice person.
Well, we'll
Someone
have
like
nice people. Wait, go
someone went on
ahead.
some religious tirade. Like they were like,
Really?
I'm coming to you in the 3 years before the Lord is set to return. Great special. Tell your mom hi. My
So
mom's birthday's in a few days. I was like, who are you? I don't know who you
you're
are.
this is the thing. This is why I put quality one. I mean, the special looks like it would be on everything. Like it is like you have an opening with the chair and it's black and white and the ending, a hat on your head, like the whole, it's just a really well done special that someone's going to watch. And this is going to watch and go, I can't believe I'm getting this on YouTube. Like that is to me, the first thought of like, look what we're doing. Like we are producers, we are writers, we are comedians, we are, stage managers. You have, you're dressed well, the background, like it's just, there was thought put in. I'm not wrong. I can't be wrong here.
I actually did it in a day, in a night, all by myself. No, this production company, Pretty Good Friends. It's Eugene Merman's involved. He's Bob's Burgers voiceover,
Yeah.
big in the Brooklyn comedy scene like a decade ago. They like are very artist first, and so we started talking a year ago. What does a special look like? Started to get to like think about the set. It was really like important to me that there was some like something cute or interesting visually, just because I know to stand out online, you need something. And my
Mm.
material is awful, so I really need to rely on gimmicks and props. But we wanted it to look good, and we had ambitions of it landing somewhere. I don't know how familiar your listeners are with like the comedy business landscape and like
Right.
people acquiring specials and not. But some people you have to just make it, and then you hope someone's like, let's put it on our thing. So we made it
Right.
Netflix quality. And you can get it for free on YouTube without paying $19.99 a month.
Right. This is why we want people to go watch it and comment, like all those good things and share it. We want people to share it. So it is, you start with a quote. Also, like, it's like a smart special. When you start with a quote that is like this isn't
watch it with a notebook. Watch
right.
it with
Well, I mean,
homeschool.
there's real thought put in. Like, you're son of a preacher. You do have a preacher voice to me. Like, there's compassion in it. Like, and it's about, you and your parents. Basically, there is a through line of like you and your parents and trying to like get along with them and have them see your side of is that correct? I mean, you say love and you say there's a trick in comedy, and I'm not giving away, but in the beginning it is a trick that I do too. I always say, and I do it on Instagram when I do a face to the camera bit. If I'm going to like talk about something, you always say you love it. You say you love it because it gets you out of like, I just said I loved it. And then you can talk as much shit as you want, but you're like, I'm here for it. And to me, I always say I love it because it's a yes and. Like, it's a more positive, fun way to go about it. When you say you hate something, I think it's like, it's unprofessional almost. Like, I don't want to be a hater, and when you explain it, you're like, I don't know who the quote's from because I'm a stupid idiot, but you make it, the loving something is the right to criticize something.
Yeah, it's sort of it's both the trick and stand up, and then it's bell hooks. I read All About Love, like everyone else in Brooklyn has. And she says, love is commitment to one's spiritual growth. So when you love something, you're like willing in the long term to help it grow and change. Because I don't know, my parents tell me they love me, but then they're going to the ballot box and voting against my rights. Like my ex
Right.
said he loved me, but then he like dumped me on a plane. Like the types of love I'm receiving don't make sense. And then Disney love, like your heart fluttering and butterflies, like that doesn't always make sense. So I really wanted like a good definition of love of some kind to make sense of like these complicated relationships that I have. And so, yeah, when you love something, you're allowed to criticize it. It's James Baldwin, I quote too, um, who says he loves America more than any country in the world, and for that reason, he insists on the right to criticize it perpetually. Like just because you
Right.
love something doesn't mean you're gonna. And with like summer coming up in the 4th of July, on the 4th, a lot of people think about the U.S. and their relationship with the country. Like, are we allowed to celebrate it? And I'm like, yes, loving the U.S. doesn't mean you agree with everything it's done. It means you're committed to it growing. You're gonna stay here. We're gonna loving humanity, loving your fellow person means, hey, I'm here for you. Let's be better people than we were yesterday.
Right. And it's hopeful. Like it's
Mm.
to say you hate something is to be done with it. Like, I don't know, this all kind of like spoke to me in the special because I was thinking, I was hearing, you do a great job, and the weave part is not about, Zach is not wearing a wig. It's you're weaving in and out this thing you have with your parents where like you can sense you care about them. And I have a lot of this, where I do a lot of jokes about my parents, and it's like, I'm annoyed with them, but I love them. And I don't think I would choose other parents. Like,
Mm.
but we have arguments and we have it out. And I was thinking, I wrote this down, like how much, to your parent, it seems as though the disagreement is like it. Like, I was thinking of like people who disagree with their parents politically, like it's almost easier for them to do that because it's like being addicted to food. Like, it's easier to be, addicted to alcohol. You can just be like, I'm taking alcohol out of my life. And if you do that with your parents, if you disagree politically, you can go, we just won't talk about that. But then because of your lifestyle, because you're gay and you're like, you have the connection of the two, it's like, no, this is hovering over us all the time. Like, we have to talk about it. So I either leave them, and you even say, like, people ask me, why have I cut them off? And it's like, well, you don't want to do that. I kind of saw the plight a little bit. Like, we're like, no, I still have to eat. I'm addicted to this relationship, but I need to try and make it better. I don't know. Like, it seems so much harder.
You're saying that it's when something's a ever-present part of your identity or thing you struggle with, you can't make it a boundary in your family relationship as easily. Like,
I
mom, don't shame me about food. It's like, well, every time we're together, we're going to be around food, and it's constantly
right.
on my mind, the same way I that cock is always on mine. I can't not bring this up, mom. I
Right.
need.
Well, and when you say like they're voting against me, like I'm sure they don't see it that way.
No, right.
You
They're
know,
trying
like
to take America back. They, yeah, they're not evil people. I have to believe they've just been brainwashed by media, which doesn't help anybody. But I've actually had a chat with my mom recently where I got her to like imagine her perfect society. Like, where do you think your tax dollars should go? Let's not talk about like how great Musk was or whatever. Let's be like, where should they? And she thinks she loves education and thinks healthcare needs to be reformed. Like, there's genuine good beliefs inside of her. We just get trapped into like our script of talking points, like we're talking heads on Fox News versus MSNBC.
I wrote this down. I was like, you must have real debates with your parents. Like it must be like a real, like it almost made me like hate someone who does cut their family off. Like I was like, it must have been easy for you, like I was watching this because, and again, we'll get to more fun subjects because there are in this special, because I love the way you start with your parents, you start with this like definition of love, and then it's like we're talking about Dunkin Donuts, which is like close to my heart. But I was like watching this being like, man, these are lived in debates you've had with them. Like these are like, and sometimes I think the eye roll from the audience, from me, comes from someone who's talking about their plight, their struggle, and it's not a real struggle. It's not a lived-in struggle. It is what they imagine to be a struggle. And you talk about Brooklyn. That is something you see in Brooklyn all the time. It's like the person who's talking about how poor they are, but they pulled up in an Uber. You go, oh, I don't believe it. And then, but you can't say you don't believe it because now you're saying you don't believe,
Believe
someone's
all women.
pain, right? Believe everything. Just like I've had this issue recently. I was dealing with this. I got someone posted, and I'm going to be talking about this a lot on all my podcasts. So this will be, by the time this comes out next week. I'll have talked about this to death, but like I was posted on Are We Dating the Same Guy Facebook group.
Jared,
thank you for that reaction.
no.
That reaction makes me feel better. Right.
You're an upstanding gentleman. Why are you being?
Let's say I'm not an upstanding gentleman, but I let's say I'm like a medium fine guy. All the information about me is out there on podcasts daily. Like I have podcasts where I talk about my dating life. Like the idea that you can't find information on me, and this has always been is like crazy. There's Reddit pages. So like, we've just.
Right, you're not flying under the radar. Like,
right, I'm not hiding in the trenches. I'm not like behind a bush. Like, and if there was something about me, it would have been out there, I guess, by now. Like, I would think, So I've been dealing with this because it's like when we've talked about the "Are you dating the same guy" Facebook pages in the past, it's been hypothetical. It's. And I understand why people's feedback there's been angry feedback because the hypothetical is if we can save one woman from a dangerous man, who cares about the other men who were posted here? We talked a little shit and then we figured out they were fine and brushed them aside. And you go, okay, like I guess by that premise, save one and fuck 100, whatever dudes. I can understand that. But then when it was me, I'm like, well, this outs the whole premise. Like, me, it should be done in 5 seconds. It was done anonymously. It was my headshot. It wasn't even my picture from the dating app. So like,
oh, wow. Okay.
So it's like, you found my headshot. So but also
it's your turn in the bucket. This is a slightly homophobic story that my therapist told me about. A lumberjack starts this job. He's chopping down trees, and he's like, asks his boss, "Hey, where do you go to get off? Like, where do you like find love?" And he's like, "There's this bucket that you put your penis in, like out in the woods, and you just go in and you get taken care of." And so he goes and he does it, and he comes back the next day. He's like, "This is amazing. Oh my God, I feel so relieved. This is fantastic. I'm gonna go back to the bucket every day." And his boss is like, "Well, except for next Tuesday." And he's like, "What's next Tuesday?" He's like, "It's your turn in the bucket."
Oh. Like you have to.
It was fun talking shit about all the other guys. They're getting roasted. Now, Jared, it's your turn in the bucket.
Well, I wasn't even talking the shit. Like no one gets a turn in the bucket based on this story. They all get to watch the bucket. Everyone, get off and then make fun of them for the way they come. Like I.
Oh no! Are people sending you what's being said? Because it's like
the only
a
reason
women's
I know,
only group.
Well,
right?
What it's funny is the code of honor is really quite weird because they'll send me a screenshot of the picture of me being posted, but they won't show me the comments.
I'm actually in the group and everything was positive.
They're thank you. I appreciate.
Jared's great. He lasts hours in bed if you want him to.
Right.
I always come first.
This is all I want out there. I just want good love, attentive lover. If everyone just wrote attentive lover, then I'd be okay with. I'm just, I'm not upset. My heart raced when I got it sent to me. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. Like it's I don't know. But I was thinking of like, based on, to bring it back to the special, it's like you have these lived in things and it's like to go back to like the reason I brought this up is like, you have to just go along. Like if someone goes up and tells their traumatic tale, you can't be like, really? Because no one comes no one's going to come to the bat to back up. Really? You do that in closed circles behind, but yours I was watching, I was like, this all is like so real. Like
You're probably the same way. I feel like on stage, there are comics who can invent fictional scenarios and for the joke or the pun or the funny situation. But my premises have always been like, what is going on with my life? Like the actual mechanics, the people exist. There was a couple years ago, I created a composite character. I took like 2 dating experiences and put them together, and my like evangelical background was like, that's lying. But I was like, okay, it's okay. It's in the service of humor. I can build this story and maybe fictionalize some of the punchlines. But I've always been like, I got to start with the real. Otherwise, the audience to me can smell it.
If you're trying to be an adult, but you're still sneaking onto your ex's Hulu account, it's time to get Ava and get those finances in order. Ava is a credit building app that makes it super simple to improve your credit fast so you can get better rates on loans, pay off debt faster, and keep more money in your pocket. The Ava card gives you credit up to $2,500. Use it to pay your existing bills and subscriptions automatically. Ava reports those on-time payments to all major credit bureaus every day, so you can build positive credit history fast. I love a sponsor that can help you find an extra $20 in your pocket, and that's what Ava's doing. If you are having credit problems or need credit checks, Ava is a place to build that credit, is a place to get your credit rating in a different place than it is now. And I love that we can help people do that. So if you're thinking of your credit, if you're thinking of it and it's on your mind, let's get into Ava and let them help you out. For just an easy $6 a month, you can potentially save thousands. Download the Ava app, spelled AVA, today. And when you join using my promo code JTrain, you'll get your first month free. There we go. This offer is only for JTrain listeners. Get the Ava app and use promo code JTrain to get your first month free. That's promo code JTrain. Thanks to Ava. And now go get yourself good credit. Have you had people come up to you and confide in you because about their family?
Oh, 100%. A lot after like the book came out. I feel like that was people were like reading and diving in. But yeah, I'm building a fan base of like traumatized evangelical Christians. My hope is that I can make a piece of art that someone consumes with their parents. Like if mom watched it and child watched it and suddenly they feel less alone, like that to me would be super cool.
I think I actually, it's funny you say that. I thought about that. I was like this, there are parts where it's like, I was wondering if someone would accuse you of being dirty, because I don't think you're dirty, but you're also dancing in the evangelical world where like, oh my God, you say the Lord's name in vain, you're fucked. Like, because I was wondering if you have issue, if someone, like, is there a care with that? Because you're like, if I mention things, I lose all credibility with this person I'm trying to get through to. Like that mom will go, and he said bad words. You'd be like,
right.
No, but there's like a heart here. I'm trying to like, again, that kid who sits down with his mom to show them, this is how I feel. Like I'm trying with you.
That is maybe a strategic thought for the future, because I definitely am like, this is me. I'm going to talk about gay sex. I think I say ass in the first line, and I've learned my mom doesn't even like that level of cursing.
Right.
So it's not clean. Like she's wanted me to focus on clean comedy, which to me feels like don't talk about being gay on stage. So I like want to do my sex act outs, but maybe the next special I'll be smarter and try to lure some of the Trumpers in, lure some of the clutching your pearls, dirty words. But this one was sort of like, this is my story. It is for a more progressive person, but there are bits that are clean. I surprised myself. The Dunkin Donuts stuff, I didn't realize it was clean until after. I was like, oh, I wrote like a 3-minute clean bit. Right.
The Dunkin Donuts bit is great. And what I loved about it is like, there's very little. A great bit is something that's in front of everyone, and even if you don't go to Dunkin Donuts, you understand it. Like you talk about Dunkin Donuts points using the app. Like it was like a 1-sentence description of like that you did where it was like the surprise me line, because like you didn't have to say. There could have been 10 minutes of like, so there's this button where it will surprise you, and if it surprises you, it's when you get something free. Like you didn't even do that. You go, there's a surprise me button, and like I just knew. I was like, oh, so you get like a freebie that's a surprise. Like, and so have you done the bit? And I'm asking this because personally, I am from outside of Boston, the New England area. We have an ownership of Dunkin Donuts. That is our local coffee donut. The guy who started it, actually, my dad, I think, grew up across the street from him. The original is like close to where my dad grew up. Yeah. So Dunkin Donuts, like as far as being a national brand, that is like somewhat new-ish. That's in the last like 2 decades. Like, so have you done in New England, and were they passionate about the bit? Did it work differently in New England than it would have anywhere else?
Oh, it hit real hard. I played Crystal Ballroom a few months before the special, and like, yeah, Boston goes nuts for their Dunkies.
Yes.
I assume if I had done a bit about Starbucks, I'd go to Seattle country, and I'm very grateful.
I don't even think they care about it as in the same way. Like it's such I've been to Seattle, and like they eye roll Starbucks in the same way everyone somewhat does. Like it doesn't feel like Dunkin' is like, I mean, there's even the SNL bits like they've done, did you know it was going to be the passion before you got there? Were you like, oh, I can't wait to throw this Dunkin' bit at them?
Someone who lived there was like, this is going to hit really hard. And I was like, really? And then it did. I was like, it's like, well, the opposite can be true. I have a bit about Red Lobster, and I did that in the UK, and they're like, what? It's like hinges on blue cheese being worse. So you take the good and the bad. Like sometimes things are going to hit extra hard, and then sometimes they're not going to at all. But it's a tough week. We're losing the $6 meal deal this week. So
were you always a Dunkin' fan? If you're from Virginia, like when does Dunkin' come into your life?
In the past, it's always been kind of there. I would do like a late night donut run. Like in my 20s, I was drunk from the bar. I have a Dunkin' on my way home. I'd go and get like a donut or two before bed. And then in the past 2 years, I live near a Starbucks, a Dunkin', a local coffee shop. And I get into little fits where I'll like go to one for 2 months and then go to another. And then when I go back, they'll be like, where you been, Zach? Like, I feel like I'm cheating on all of them. But then Dunkin' really started, the employees that work there are so sweet. Like, I like my mobile order. I like going in. I like seeing someone. I like them saying, hey, Zach. And I've just leaned into, I think the points system is the best, probably. Obviously, I should be supporting local coffee shops, and I do occasionally. But I do.
No, you shouldn't. I am I am a Dunkin' stan. I mean, like, The problem with the Dunkins in New York is that they're like fairly disgusting. Like you can't sit in them. Like the difference
they took away the chairs. Most of them don't even have.
To my point, that's why. I mean, like I'll tell you. So I had a Dunkin' bit that so my that I kind of told and stopped telling because I don't know. I did it a half of it on the Tonight Show. Like it
Gotcha.
wasn't ready. Like I kept working on it. It was the second time on, and I'll never forget it. So like growing up, we had Dunkin Donuts cups, like cups in our cupboards. Like that was like we had a bunch of the styrofoam cup, the regular cup, the plastic cup. So we had like tons of Dunkin Donuts like things. And I'll never forget it. There was one literally up the street from my house. So we used to go to the same one. And my mom, I did the whole bit I did in the Tonight Show was how she can't order coffee. Like she'll just say words that are like coffee adjacent. And like, I talk about how like this person who worked there like knew the order. Like it was like hieroglyphics and like no one would know it but this person who worked there. So like that was like half the bit that I ended up doing. But the real bit, and we walked in, the reason I started doing the bit is we walked in one day and the people working at Dunkin' like saw my mom and they were like, no cups, no cups. And I was like confused. You have this moment of like, what's going on? And they're screaming, no cups. And I go, what's going on? She's like, nothing, nothing, nothing. I take the cups. And I go, is that why we have like a full-on shelf of Dunkin' Donuts like gear? And she's like, yeah, I usually come in here and I've seen my mom do this before. She'll take a full bag, open it up, sleeve, caps. Like she takes everything.
Is she ordering something at least?
She's getting like one coffee, but also like taking things on her way out. Cups. Right. As if it's like, a buffet of like, and then they started pointing at a sign that said 10 cents a cup. Like they started charging.
Because of your mother.
She changed the economy at a local Dunkin' Donuts. Like they literally were looking at numbers like, what's going on? That was the whole bit. Like, and I didn't do it because it just wasn't there yet and it also went with, and if an audience was good, you do like the good part and you're like, if you're good, I'll get to this other part that I'm like kind of thinking on, like, and I would, if it went well, which it didn't, they liked it for the Tonight Show. They were like, it's a clean bit about your mom and coffee, right. Like do it. And then I'll never forget it. So when you do it, they have a rehearsal and it's like the rehearsal is for the camera people and like, that's it. So it's like really awkward. So I go up there and I do my rehearsal. My parents are there and I get done and my mom goes, don't do the coffee bit. I don't think you should do that. And I was like, it's an hour. We're doing this in an hour. Like this has been thought out. And my dad, he's like, it's too true for her. Like she doesn't like it because it's so true to how she orders a coffee. Like it's it's almost too cartoonish so that it probably didn't do as well because people were like, is he making fun? Like, no, this is really how she orders it. Did you have your mom, did your parents, did they get back? Have they watched the special and have they gotten back to you with their critique?
I sent mom the special. She asked if it was clean. I said parts of it. She said, send me clean clips. So we're at that level.
What's she afraid of, do you think? Like to hear ass, because you're not dirty. That's crazy.
Right. Why are you afraid of? I guess, I didn't realize the cursing thing's new. Like, I thought, and I don't know, maybe the world's not ready. I said fuck on the radio last week doing like promo, and the guy was like, you're on the radio. You can't curse. Right. I was like, oh, I forgot there are parts of the world where that's not allowed. But
that's all parts. That's the radio. Like I understand more than your mom watching a special and like alone at home. Like is the thought that like God will see me? Like
God's always watching. She loves. I have a bit about her. She's a Red Lobster server, and I tell a story. And I put it online, and it did numbers a couple of years or so ago. And she was nervous at first. You're like, you're gonna get me fired. And then I was like, in this story, you're a hero. You're not.
Right.
You've done nothing wrong. And then she started to appreciate the attention. I weirdly think that when we both are performing our relationship, we like behave a little better. Like she's a showman. She tells her table she charges for entertainment. Like she loves the spotlight. And
Right.
similar to your mother, like sort of is a character. So all we have to do is hopefully document it from
Right.
our perspective, but then it can seem absurd. Like, who is this woman? Like, is she
Right.
real? Um, but I think we're
Right.
both, yeah, when there's an audience, we're both behaving maybe the best that we are. I hope maybe one day I'll do a totally clean special just for her, just for Patty Z. But she is
I don't
also not
think
wrong because clean comics are booking. Like, I
well,
think, like,
we
it's,
talked last week. I had Steven Rogers on, and
oh, yeah, yeah.
we talked about clean comedy, just like the the dishonesty of clean comedy is why
Mm,
comics go against it. Like we think it's being dishonest because we meet bad actors who do it.
mm.
As you said, like there are people who just get into clean comedy because it's being booked, because you get booked. That is not like a good reason to do comedy to me, or I'm assuming you. But I think I watched your special and I was like, you're like 7 words away. Like I
Mm,
like
mm,
from,
mm.
and this is all honest and lived in. That's why I loved it so much. I was like, I'm watching, I'm like, oh, I'm seeing the dynamic of this family. Like, that's, and also there's a respect for religion, like, which I think the people that I think so, like, I do believe, like, you're making fun of it, but like, you have to know so much about it to make fun of it the way you do.
Oh, well, yeah, I just have this encyclopedic knowledge of everything from the first 18 years where I had to read the Bible and I thought it was all evangelical fundamentalist Christianity was all totally true. But that's interesting you say I have respect for it. I did go on Easter. Easter was on 420, so I
Mm.
took an edible and I went to a Baptist service thinking
How'd
I'd
that
have
go?
some. I I was delighted I wasn't like triggered or anyway. I was like
Hmm.
blending in. They had a band. The pastor was cute, gave a nice little sermon. I was able to appreciate it as a piece of like storytelling. I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
he's doing 5 minutes on egg hunts. Like these are just
Right.
jokes. This isn't, oh, and now he's folding the Bible in." Um, I thought the drugs would make me have some experience or heal something, but the only thought couldn't get out of my head, this guy was kind of handsome. I was like, are you allowed? Is your wife? Do you get blowjobs? I couldn't get it out of my head. I was like, can pastors? I just can't see you. You're too. That
Right.
seems wrong. But I Googled it, and according to Christianity.com, yes, oral sex is allowed within the confines of marriage between loving partners, loving man and woman.
Thinking of it in that context, to me, is a respect for it. Like, are you within the rules, like that
Right,
you live
right.
by? Like, how much can, like, or are you a fraud? Like, do I have to, like, I don't know. I enjoyed the special. I want everyone to go watch it. It's called Surprise Me. The Dunkin' bits, I mean, like, spoke to me. I can't believe you get donuts from Dunkin' Donuts. That's the other. I would never get a donut from Dunkin' Donuts.
It's not a great place. The donuts are not good. No offense to my chosen coffee company.
I don't think Jews get donuts from Dunkin' Donuts. I've never seen like if I saw like a tray of like donuts out from Dunkin', like growing up, I'd be like, I'm at a non-Jewish event. Like that's not. No family member of mine would allow for this to happen without shame for eating it and the whole deal.
What chain do you all go to? Or more of a
We don't
local?
we don't eat donuts. We eat in secret
Oh,
and we have I no, but Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee, like that's like I've been drinking
yeah.
Dunkin' iced coffee since
Bagels and
now.
donuts
Well,
feel like cousins. Can't you make the
it's
leap
just
from a,
I couldn't. It's cake for breakfast. I can't.
oh,
Like the idea of it.
that doesn't make you salivate?
It makes me. There's like an element of giving up. That like I've given up on all my goals for the day
Oh
if
my
I'm
God.
starting it with a donut.
Gaffigan has a bit about pancakes where he's like, when you
Mm.
eat pancakes, like, well, guess I'm not showering today. It
Right.
is. I similarly don't, sweets are like in the nighttime. Like, you got to be
Yes.
good through the day. This is unhealthy, disordered eating stuff. Be good through the day. And then at night, when no one's looking, you can have a little sweet treat.
The
Or,
closer you are to hugging your pillow against your stomach is when you can start really being bad. I went last night. I went to. Have you been to a Salt and Straw?
no.
These ice cream places are it's so good And my buddy was like, I have a theory. I think they put like more salt in it than they should or whatever. And I'm like, no, there's no theory here. Their flavors aren't even ice cream. They're literally like cake with like a film of ice cream around it. Like but they had a pastrami on rye ice cream.
No.
You got to try it. I
Really?
tried it. It's like one of those things where it's like it's better than you think it's going to be, but you wouldn't have like a whole bowl of it. If you had a bowl of it, like there's rules here. Like that's for trying. That's for saying you've had it.
I see. Yes. That's
if someone was
what
like,
gets
I just got
people talking about them, but you go in and you get your cookie dough, your normal.
They know what they're doing. It's like if you did a stand-up special where it's like, oh, he says a slur, I guess.
Right.
You know,
and then everyone, or
and then you find
a
out,
weave. It's
right.
all
The
about
weave. That's it. Surprise me.
in.
Everyone go watch Surprise Me. It's on YouTube right now. The link is in the bio of this episode. Zach Zimmerman, thank you so much for coming on. This is fantastic.
Oh, Jared, this was a delight. Thanks for having me on the JTrain.
Of course. You're the best.
Choo-choo.
Back next week. Boom.